Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, good.
welcome to a new episode of the Good Night Podcast. Today I have a special guest, my friend. You might have seen him on stage. You might have seen him while browsing on Tinder or
Maybe.
Hinge. They're very funny and they're very sweet. And a man I always like talking to. And there's kindness in his heart. And he's funny and a little dirty. And he has a good joke about
A little dirty. That's rude.
the people who live in this neighborhood.
I
I don't want to say any words in the first 5 minutes.
No, that's rude.
It's very funny. Though my friend, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Del Vecchio. Woo!
Bonjour. Yay. Should edit in some claps.
Wee! You heard that, Gabe? He's not gonna do it, but it's
No.
okay.
Do we still talk about Gabe on this podcast, or is he like Voldemort now? He doesn't exist.
He censors his own name. So Gabe, beep beep beep. We are going. Where are we going today?
Lake Brom.
Lake Brom.
Yeah,
Have you ever been?
I have. I have a buddy who lives in Knowlton, which
What's Knowlton?
it's like around Lake Brom. And I just finished telling you I have a horrible sense of directions. But my friend, he was like my main drinking buddy when we were in CJEP and stuff. And he invited me to a beer pong competition in Lake Brom. At the Knowlton pub, which is like around Lake Brom. So he lives in Lake Brom. And the Knowlton pub is like the Knowlton town is the town over.
Yeah.
I was super drunk. In my head, it was like the difference of like Brossard to St. Lambert, which is like maybe an hour walk.
Yeah.
If you like, it's like 8-9 kilometers.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Towns aren't that close. Right. So again, it's a beer pong competition. So he gets super drunk and he's like, "Will, I'm going home. My friend's going to drive you home." I'm like, "All right, cool." My friends drove me to their house, not his house. I don't know these people. So I was still, again, super drunk. My phone had 4% battery, and I GPS'd my way home. And I noticed my phone had 4%, so I wrote the instructions on my hand, but I didn't notice. Yeah,
it
was
smart.
a big brain move.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, again, really drunk. Did not notice I was writing like walk down 10 kilometers, walk down 12 kilometers, walk down 30 kilometers.
Not that smart.
No. So I walked from like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Oh my
before
God.
I got and it started raining.
Oh.
It was horrible. My instructions were leaking. It was the worst thing. So I knocked on some random monsieur's door at like 6:30 in the morning,
Oh my
saying,
God.
"Hello, man. I'm lost. I'm from Montreal. I'm trying to get to my friend's house. Can you like help me?"
my
And this dude had bunnies running around his house. It was like the weirdest.
Where are you, in a farm?
In Knowlton or Lake Brom?
Man, I've seen movies, horror movies that start with
I know.
you.
I was gonna die. Like, honestly, if this guy because I was walking and I'm like, 6 a.m. I'm not gonna knock on someone's door. Like,
Yeah.
that's it's a bad thing. But I was like, the
You
next
smell-
house with lights on.
You smell of booze.
Exactly. Like, I'm a creepy guy. But I figure at this
leaking
point,
all over your head.
at this point, I was showered because it was raining, so it was fine. I just looked disheveled. Moral of the story is, we're going to a place in the middle of nowhere and towns aren't close.
God dang, dude.
But I survived because I'm here.
So he told you, like, okay, this is what you need to do?
Oh, he drove me there and I gave him like $30-40. I forget.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and it turns out I was like 10 minutes away
Oh.
by car. So,
This is a 2 hours walk.
Hey.
Oh, walking. Oh, my God.
oh no, it was the sun was like there when I decided to knock.
This reminds me of a story. One of my earliest one-night stands.
Was it in the woods? Because that's where I was.
It was with the
In
guy
the
who has
fucking woods.
bunnies.
He was such a nice old man.
Oh yeah, he was a kind lover. No, I was new to like having, sex, and I was at a bar with my friend and his girlfriend. She had friends, and one of the girls just kept buying me drinks, and I'm like, oh, she likes me. She's buying me drinks, and then we get in a cab, and I'm a Middle Eastern man. I'm like, no, I will pay for the taxi. Hey.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna drive.
No. No. Listen, sir, I will. My dad, he taught me everything about taxi driving. No, I'm like, I will pay, but I'm like, I need to stop by a bank. So I stop at a national bank. I put the code. It's a wrong code. I'm like, huh? I put the code again. I'm like, and then my car locks. I was so drunk, I forgot what's the code for my
shit.
debit card.
Yeah.
So I go back in the cab. I'm like, okay, sorry, I forgot my code. She's like, okay. I'll pay. I don't mind. It's okay. Thank God she was Quebecois.
Now you look a little stupid too.
I look a little. Oh my God. So we go to her place, giggity giggity, fun time. And then in the morning, and I hear I'm like, what's that? She's like, oh, my friend, my roommate. Her alarm is ringing at like 6:50 in the morning. I'm like, okay, but you gotta turn it off.
Yeah, like that's enough. Hit snooze or something.
Like, can we go in her room and turn it off? She's like, no, that's just her life now. She's gonna sleep. So I'm like, well, I can't sleep. So I got up. I realized, hey, of course, back then when I was young, phones didn't have Uber or anything. So I have no cash to take the metro. I have no money to take a taxi. I'm wearing like a shirt and dress, what people in the early 2000s used to wear to go out clubbing.
Yeah, like button-up shirt,
Yeah, but like open here,
super tight.
like a red.
Button. I can imagine.
Oh God! And
You
I
did your own
walked-
little walk of shame.
I walked for 45 minutes back home. And I got home, dude. And I was walking like on a Saint Denis, going up Saint Denis all the way to my house.
Nice.
Oh,
That's when
just
you wanna meet
seeing
people.
People just with like nice fancy shoes and oh my God, terrible.
With nice fancy, like shiny patent leather, like
Yeah.
early 2000s
Yeah,
style.
exactly. With a pointy, you know how they were
Yeah,
pointy.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
You were full Jersey Shore-ish. type.
Oh, there it was nice. All that. I just remember, man.
Yeah, no.
But I like walking. Walking is nice.
I like driving.
Driving is awesome. People don't get it. I find the people your generation and younger don't get the benefits of driving.
No, they really don't, and it's like weird because I enjoy cars, so it's like I saw all the generations above me enjoy cars,
Yeah.
and now mine, I'm like the odd one out,
Yeah.
and it's weird.
Are there still any car girls, like girls who like guys with hot cars? Because you have a hot car.
I have no idea if there's car girls, but like I have arguably a nice car.
Nicest car in the comedy scene, I'd say.
Well, thank you. That's actually, I'll wear that badge. But no, it's the only people attracted to it so far are other men. Right? Like I've never had a girl come up to me and be like, "Hey, nice car," but the amount of dudes that pull up to me and then they'll lower their window and be like, "Hey, Bouchard, man," or whatever. It's hilarious to me, but no, don't get a car to get women. It doesn't work. Get it for yourself.
Nah, it's true. Especially you're so loud.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
how I
very
know I
loud.
got old. When I got in your car, I'm like, oh, this is loud.
It's
My
very loud.
ass hurts. I'm feeling every bump.
Yeah, but you forget about it until you
Yeah.
drive another car.
Yeah. Like this car, that car,
No,
and you drove my car.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's,
it-
what did
it-
you, what
it's nice driving, but it lacks any
It
type of
lacks-
punch.
Oh yeah, it lacks so much power. It's a grandpa car.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Well,
it's
and
big.
because the worst part is like you used to have a now I actually have his old Mazda. It still
Yeah.
has the mustache in the corner. I haven't touched it, but I had a Mazda before that. This guy left his gas cap open.
Yep,
Oh, it's stupid, but they're good cars,
they're amazing.
and they've always been kind of sporty.
Yeah,
This
except
one's a
one.
good car. It's just not sporty.
As you know, I told you this used to be my brother's car, and my brother does not care about power. Like he didn't get a bigger engine. Like when I bought my Mazda,
No, but it's got like leather seats and stuff. Oh no,
No,
does
no,
it? I thought
no,
it did.
no,
Because I saw this, so I
I
figured.
think it's a GS, which is like not the base, but it's the slightly above base.
Yeah.
But they didn't get the power.
Yeah. Drive a fast car, it'll make driving more fun.
This is still fun. This is a
Oh,
stick
manual is better. Yeah, regardless, this car, however
Yeah.
slow this is, it would be way slower.
shift. And yeah, of course. And but don't forget, like you can get power. You just have to stay in second,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
it will-
second and then the high revs.
Yeah, and then just let it rip at 5,000 RPM, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
All right, we just lost all the women who listen to this podcast. Ladies, tell us if this is.
We got
where you
very
decided
technical
to-
about cars for a second.
Decided to, step out. How do you feel about Miatas?
I love them.
You do?
Yeah, it depends on the generation, but honestly, yeah.
Because, man, all my life, these cars were for
Hairdressers and stuff. I know.
hairdressers. Yeah, that's a good, polite way of saying
Yeah,
it.
well, it's
Male
been like in the
hairdresser.
car community, it's been called the hairdresser car for some reason.
It's small. I like the fact that it's small. I don't know. There's something about it that would never appeal to me. If I were to get a tiny car, I always said the BMW 1 Series, like a 135.
Yeah, but you can't compare that to
Wow.
a Miata. Fuck.
It's true.
That's
course, but
like
we're
two
talking
different
about, like,
worlds.
Small, tiny, fun cars.
Oh,
Buddy.
excusez-moi, madame.
Man, why did
Hey.
I know it was. How do you feel about women drivers? Let's get.
We're fine.
Who are the worst drivers in your opinion?
I honestly, people who don't like enjoy driving, who do it just as a task. I wouldn't say a person in particular, but just people who don't care about the fact that they're driving.
I think it's communato.
Yeah,
you see a
exactly. But that's the
Communato-
perfect example because they don't even have. They just have a car to whatever,
Exactly. They don't know how to drive them. They don't
Nah.
have the thousands of hours experience driving.
and it's not
So
their car. They don't
it's not their
care.
car. It's always stressful for them to drive.
No, I hate those guys. I hate communitos. They're worse than bikers. Because bikers
Don't get me started about
well,
bikers.
but bikers know they can die. So like they're not going to challenge me.
But they think they're better than you. That's the problem with bikers.
And that's fine. They can think they're better than me. I'll just go in their face and then
Sorry, your is busting up.
yeah, I figured it probably affect
There's
the mic a
I have a
little bit.
feeling in this conversation there's going to be a lot of.
Yeah, just edit in a car noise. you know?
What's the nicest car you ever driven
I've ever driven. I haven't even driven. I haven't
or been
driven-
in or been in?
Even that, I haven't been lucky enough to be in a lot of nice cars. Probably like a BMW M3 or something like that.
Ooh, who had one?
One of my friends.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, you did want to hear a crazy story? So I used to date a girl, and her dad was really rich and really, really rich, like a big shot in Lebanon. And she had a younger son who was 17, and his dad on his 17th birthday got him an M5.
Dad.
And dude, the car was so powerful, he crashed the car. So the father was like, "All right, listen, I can't get you an M5. This is too powerful. So here's an M3."
Oh, what a downgrade! What a hard time.
It doesn't
You
say
know? You know what my dad gave me? Nothing.
he just left.
He just left.
We have something funny in front of us. We have a car, and it has a custom
Yeah, I was looking
license
at that.
plate.
I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what he was trying to say with that.
The Great TF something. I think it's called the.
Great F, T Great F.
I saw I saw three that I found. One of them was Anal Queen.
Nice.
I'm like, I have to take a. She was a
impressive.
beautiful woman, and the other one was Amer, my name. I'm like, oh, if somebody had my name.
Yeah, but I feel like Amber, like, is it?
It's not a common.
Is it a common name? Like, I don't
Not
know.
in the
you
Middle
know?
East.
No?
Not in French Canada. That's for sure.
Well, not in French Canada, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I always find funny, like I saw a guy who was delivering for Uber, but he has a custom license plate. I'm like, dude, priorities. Life
yeah,
is
like
not
you're
that
paying
great.
$300. Like,
Yeah, life, you're
2
not.
months of Uber driving is paying for that.
Like, decide what you want to do in your life. You're spending money, not.
Well,
in
I
a
almost,
smart way.
I highly thought of getting the license plate
I
Amherst
see-
car for your old car, right? Just AMR,
Yeah.
AMRSCAR,
yeah.
something like that, and then it was like $300, and it
Oh.
was like 2/3 of what I paid for it, and I went, you know what? I don't need the car to say Amherst car, but if ever I have a lot of money,
Keep it, and I'll sell
Oh,
you this. in
and
5
then
years.
exactly, and I'll keep the Amherst.
You'll
car.
always keep Amer's car. Now, you take very good care of my old baby.
I try to. You
You take
keep it
better
clean.
care than I did.
But you
Yeah.
gotta leave them. I added fuzzy dice.
Oh, the fuzzy dice. You always keep the inside clean.
Yeah.
Very impressed. But it's a quality car,
Yeah, I enjoy it.
and like I think about, I think Alex Leonard was saying that he got a ride in it, and he couldn't believe that I sold it at that price. I'm like, I just wanted just take it.
No, I fucking and it saves my nice one from the winters.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. You
And
have
it saves me. I almost died 2-3 times in my nice one. So
the fact that you drive your nice one, a rear wheel drive car in Canadian winters is bananas to me.
well, I don't do it anymore.
The fact that you tried, I think you were going to America once with your car.
Yeah.
Dude.
I've done it.
In the winter?
It's not. It's doable.
In a snowstorm?
yeah.
Like you have this much clearance, bro.
No. Well, yeah, but it's fun.
I know it's fun, but listen, highways. We've been in crazy high. Listen, all I'm saying is that you did the right thing buying my car.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying my car is safe. But I think
100%.
it's
I know. I
it's
knew
a little
buying
bit
my
safer.
car. Yeah. No.
It's a little bit safer than your car.
No, buying mine. I knew it was a horrible idea, but I just wanted it a lot.
Wow, sorry. There's a guy in front of us,
Yep.
and he's wearing a veston, like a vest,
Where's your phone? I'll take
and
a clip.
shorts,
And it's raining.
and it's raining, and he's like standing in the middle.
We're gonna clip in a quick picture of him.
Uh-huh.
And there we go. Good job,
He's
team.
a fashionable.
Fancy man.
What do you call these type of?
Now, because
These type
it's
of
questionably homeless. Is
Questionably homeless.
It's
Okay.
a good term, I feel.
Questionably homeless. That's a
You know, because he's fancy enough to not be homeless,
yeah.
but the fancy choices are that of homeless.
I find the haute couture, like when you see, there's a lot of, it's very inspired by the homeless. Everybody wants to look. I have a theory. Here's my theory. You ready?
Theory.
Fashion
It's
for
stupid.
young people is revolves around looking like a starving artist. The disheveled pants, the ripped jeans, the ripped shirt, the
But that's like hippie to the extreme, right? Like it's just like that movement kind of.
It's not hippie. No, it's not hippie.
Well,
It's
it-
looking like a because what is the coolest young person possible? A starving artist. There's no one cooler than a skinny starving artist. It's cool. You're sexy. So the whole fashion is like, how can we look? Everybody wants to look like a starving artist. So like, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll make everyone look like a, which is borderline homeless. So we'll make people look. Sorry, buddy. We'll make people look. We'll make people look like starving artists.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And young women, it's always what prostitutes used to wear 20 years ago. Like now, there's a fashion where I see there it's coats, but they're fuzzy coats. I don't know if you've seen.
I have seen. I was at work the other day and
Yeah.
I was like, "What's up with the polar bear?" Because she just had this like
like a fuzzy.
big furry.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hoodie, but it was.
Uh huh.
It was like a
Yeah.
a head cape.
Yeah, and
I
in
don't
the
know what the-
90s, you probably don't remember, but like this is what prostitutes wore, like
Oh,
their
yeah, no.
jackets.
I was.
It was those.
I was how old in it? I think I ended the '90s at 8, so I wasn't
Yeah.
aware of prostitute current events.
I remember driving on St. Catherine, and you would see prostitutes, and that was their fashion. It would be like mini skirts, high heels, and that fuzzy jacket. So that was the fashion. So now we have to look what prostitutes are wearing. So to know what the prostitutes of what fashion will be in 30 years.
So I feel like if they're wearing, there might be hard to discern what a prostitute is.
Oh, it's true now because they're not on the streets.
Camouflage.
Now it's on OnlyFans. Have you ever paid for porn?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I never understood the point because it is offered for free. So
Yeah.
who's like, nah.
Oh, I get the point. I remember there was a girl I kind of knew, and she started on OnlyFans. I'm like, oh, I would love to see her naked. I'm like, should I? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do. But I get it. I'm like, oh, this is how you got to start.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I can
You're
get.
like when you started comedy and all your family used to come to shows.
Yes.
I think this is how you start your OnlyFans.
It's just all your fans, your uncles.
Your uncles and your
your
dad.
pastor,
Whenever, yeah, your
and all
pastor.
that, you
Your
know?
dad. Whenever he's like, all right, I'll subscribe to our OnlyFans. So this is how you grow your OnlyFans community. The same way you grow.
Share
your,
it on your Facebook, Dad. Please. Yeah.
Tell your friends, and then you grow to a bigger. No, but probably this is how you start. How you start is there's people who are around you who've always wanted to see you naked, and then
Yeah.
strangers.
But like, I can get the argument of paying for it if you think you know, like if you knew the person
Yeah.
or whatever. But like, Pornhub is free.
So free.
All the other websites that you need to pay money for.
Yeah.
Why?
Why do they have more? Yeah.
Because I understand your argument.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the overall pay for a porn site argument.
Yeah.
You know?
I think maybe you don't like ads.
How
Let's
bad
say-
is
yeah.
how bad is your day that
Let's say you're Drake, all right? Well, Drake is not a good example. He likes underage kids. But let's say you're a very rich man. You make $100 million. Would you pay for porn to just not have ads?
No, because
You want the premium.
you would think, but then like you hear stories of Warren Buffett living in the same house that he bought when he was like
Dude,
12.
you are not Warren Buffett, all right?
I'm not saying I am.
You make $5 a year and you have
First
a
of all,
sports car worth
7.
fucking you have a sports car that doctors buy, all right? Let's be honest here.
No,
You're not-
doctors don't get my car.
You're not
They're smarter than that.
you're not financially
financially
responsible,
smart
all
at
right?
all.
Let's be clear about something.
No,
All right,
I'm,
gonna piss off some
financially an
people.
idiot.
Sorry. So yeah, you're not gonna be Warren Buffett and own the same house.
Well, no, all I'm saying is certain rich people, they don't, like they'll wear, like the richer you get, the more you don't care about fancy stuff.
Okay, so I see what
That's
you
more
mean.
what I was
So like you're
trying to-
saying now that you're not like super rich, I'm sorry, I'm saying he's not super rich. I'm joking, but he's not. You're not. Your car does not represent your income.
No, it does
I'll
not.
say that.
No.
So yeah, you think once you become really, really rich, You'll be like, ooh, okay. I don't care about material things. I don't believe you, bro. You're not gonna have
I'm
like.
not saying me. I'm saying some people do. If I was rich, I'd have every
Yeah.
fancy car in the world.
So I'm
You
asking
kidding me?
you. So I'm asking you. Let's say you were really rich.
Yeah.
Would you subscribe to
No,
premium?
because I still feel like I'd find it stupid. Because there's free ones. Also, I'm super rich. You know, I probably don't need porn anymore because people.
No, au contraire. I
Touche.
think this is your like. Yeah, but exactly. You don't. You gotta be careful who touches your pee-pee when you're super rich.
Oh,
Is she
for
touching
sure.
my pee-pee or is she touching my wallet?
Well, that's
Behind my
why
pee-pee.
no one could touch my pee-pee unless they passed the test. I don't know what the test
Which
is.
test?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not rich, but like, one would be like the
You'll pick them up.
STD test.
You'll pick them up
For
in
one.
my 2011
Exactly.
Mazda 3.
That'll be the thing.
It's like, I thought you're rich. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
that's-
There's the mustache still.
it's Amherst car. You'll get the license
By
plate.
then, yeah, that's how you know I'll be rich. It'll say Amherst car.
That's how our hey, Will made it.
It'll say Amherst car on my fancy one.
Oh, oh, that's nice. That's nice.
It's a little picture.
I'll still be driving this car. I should get one say Will's future car.
That would be funny. I would pay for your license plate to have that on it if I knew I'd buy it.
It's funny. Mm-mm-mm. How long have you been in Canada?
Since I was like 7.
7. Okay, so I got here at 11. So you got here a few years before me.
7? 6 or 7. My sister, yeah, 7-ish. Whatever halfway through grade 2 is.
I don't know. Grade
me
2.
neither.
What is grade 2?
But I just know I moved here in grade 2, so that's.
But this is the English system. You studied the French system.
Oh, in French, I was in France. What the fuck was it? It was like CE1 or CE2. I think when I left, they had like it always messed with me that the school names were different and stuff.
School names?
Well, just like grade 1, grade 2, like in
Yeah.
Canada, and the grading systems were different. Like when I moved here, it went to like 70%, 80%. Like in France, I didn't have to deal with that. You know. I also kind of felt stupid when it came to computers because I would learn half the year on like QWERTY keyboards,
Yeah.
and then the other half of the year I'd be on
true.
it. So like
Oh my
until I was
God.
like 12, I thought I was stupid with computers.
Oh
'cause
my
it just
God.
didn't.
Dude, I totally forgot. That's true. In French, they have the Azure something
Yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah, they're
and here we have
just
the
different
QWERTY.
keyboards.
Oh,
and I, as a
buddy.
stupid 7-year-old, was like, how come
Oh my
other people
God.
can type and I can't? But it's
Oh,
because
dude.
my brain was.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Oh no, it's fine. It was just confusing.
It is super. Dude, I always said you would have made a great engineer. Now I understand the system failed you.
Yeah, the countries messed
Yeah.
with me.
Your mom didn't understand
I
that-
remember I got
Oh.
a French word wrong on a dictée when I got here.
Yeah.
Having freshly moved, like I still had my French accent, you know, like
Yeah.
I was the Frenchest that I've ever been at that point. And I forget which they mixed up, but it was the word for desk. And I forget if I knew pupitre and they wrote bureau or they wrote bureau and I knew pupitre. I forget which one it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, this is a made up word. Like this doesn't match with anything I was ever taught, and I got it wrong. And then because it was like circled a drawing and associated to
Yeah.
the word, it marked me because I was like, I know that picture, but the word isn't there.
It's funny how
then-
how in your youth you hold these things like, I did not do nothing wrong.
Well, because the teacher's trying to tell me I'm wrong, and I was telling the teacher, I'm like, you know the wrong French. As a 7-year-old, I was like, I'm not wrong, you are.
Yeah, I remember I for the same thing when I got here in Canada. First of all, I was too young to be in whatever grade I wanted to be, so they made me go a year younger. So I was like, oh, and also I had a French accent just like yourself. And I remember the teacher talking. I'm like, I have a better French than you.
Yeah, like, what are we
You're,
doing?
ah ouais, allez les enfants. Get the ugh.
No, we had to read out loud once, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a Quebec story,
Yeah,
right? About Quebec stuff. I don't know.
poutine.
Pretty much. And at some point we got to the word, and the word was spelled Asteur.
A-S-T-E
E-U-R.
Astor.
Yeah.
Astor.
Astar.
What?
Right? They spelled it into the story. And
Ah,
again,
yeah.
I'm reading in French, little French accent. Like, oui, bonjour. And then I get to
Mon nom,
Astar,
c'est-
and then I was like, what the like, what is this word? And then the teacher was like almost condescending about it that I didn't know. And I was like, hey, you can't. Astar is technically aset-arci. It's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 words that they smushed into one.
Yeah, efficient.
It's bothersome when you're trying to be correct.
Do you feel you're Quebecois now?
No.
No, you still don't feel Quebecois?
No, because I've always like I was always the weird kid with a French accent in my class.
Yeah.
So I never assimilated to the Quebec people because, like, you know,
Really?
I was always like the weird kid. So I was like, you know what? Well, screw you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you consider yourself then?
You know, Canadian/European.
Okay, so you feel more Canadian than
Canadian,
Quebecois.
European.
Because your English is like pretty good.
Yeah, well, my mom always taught me English. So she was English, and then my dad was French, and then he was gone. And then we moved back to Canada, and that was fun.
Listen, I don't know how much you want to talk about your dad on the pod.
Oh, I don't really care.
You told us some crazy stories last time when we were in the
Oh, he's
Niagara
nuts.
Falls or something.
Yeah, I forget what I told you exactly, but
Well, the fact that he's international man of theft or whatever.
yeah, he's definitely screwed over way more people than he hasn't screwed over.
He lives on some paradise island
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, lives in the Caribbean, which is fun. That's where I found him again. And,
How did you find him?
I was scrolling through Facebook because Facebook had just come out.
Yeah.
Right? It was like 2007 or I was in Sec 4 or
Okay.
3, Sec 3
Wow,
or secondary
okay.
3 or 4, so like 14 or 13. No, 14 or 15. Yeah, 14, 15. And then I was my cousins added me from that side of the family, and I just saw him in a picture with his new wife. So I sent his wife a message saying like, "Hey, like that's my dad."
Oh my god. And he disappeared. Like he didn't say bye, nothing. He just
No, he just you know, I don't know. I was like 7, right?
Okay,
So I'm
okay.
pretty sure my mom hit a lot of the details about what was going
of course,
on,
yeah.
which is fine. But yeah, like he'd go on business trips for like half the year and come back, and then leave for longer and come back, and then he left. He would always go to Africa, and then he just never came back.
Whoa.
So we waited in France for a while, and then we moved back to Canada.
Whoa. So you sent his new wife
Yeah.
a Facebook message like, "Hey, that's my dad."
Yeah, and then I didn't hear anything from him, and I remember we just got a phone call from him randomly one day.
Here in Montreal. in
Yeah, like
Canada,
a little bit after I had sent the message, so I
Yeah.
think that might have had something to do with it. And then years later, my brother found him again through the cousins, and then he went to visit him. I went to visit him.
Oh wow, you guys went to visit him. How
Yeah.
was that?
That was weird.
Yeah, was he like, "Hey, welcome"?
Yeah, you know, he took me to a strip club on the first night I ever met him, which was fun.
He knows how to talk to a
Yeah.
young man. How old are you?
21?
Yep.
22?
I think it's
22?
good that he's not. If listen, as a cool guy, I have a feeling he was a cool guy. As
Oh.
a dad, probably terrible.
Probably, yeah, but that's the worst part is hanging out with him. You're like, he's fun,
Yeah.
but also like, fuck you, you know?
Yeah. My dad right now, like, cause my parents got divorced, and so I felt I had a my parents got divorced. So now, when I call my dad, I just talk to him because I used to. When I call, I would speak mainly with my mom and just send my regards to my dad. So now I speak with my dad. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot he's a cool guy. Like as a friend, an awesome guy. But maybe as a dad, he was not the best.
Yeah.
But as a guy, just talking to him, like I feel,
See, I feel like my dad was your
Positivity.
dad, but like turned up to 11.
yeah. Maybe my dad was like a 7.
See, like he asked for divorce. Mine just assumed.
Assuming just gone. It's crazy that they had 3 kids though.
Yeah, well, he
So
did
they
it. He did it. He had a new family when I met him. Right, he was disappearing to Africa. So, it's like he met this an amazing woman. Actually, what's funny, like the day I met her, like she's not really my stepmom anymore because he's no longer with her. But
Ex-stepmom.
the day I met her, I was like, you would be best friends with my mom, and now they are.
Really?
Yeah, which is hilarious because
Whoa.
because he did the same thing to his new family,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So like I have 2 new half sisters and they're adorable and I love them, but it's weird that like he did it again. But now that at least they have someone who's been through the same thing. I guess I think that's what they bonded over. I guess.
Have you had like dad? You're an adult now. You don't need him. There's no hatred, I assume. But like, what's the story? Like, why?
I spoke to him once,
Yeah.
and the issue is, like, from what I've been told from everyone who's ever met him, is that he's a pathological liar.
Oh.
So how, like, he's told me stuff, but how do I know?
Okay.
He told me he had cancer, but I also heard a story that he told his grandma he had cancer and stole a bunch of money. So like,
Okay. Oh, that's okay. So
I like
there's
believe it, but I don't. When he was telling me this stuff, I was like, yeah, okay.
Man, the ability to lie so easily. I wish
Well,
I
that's the
had it
thing,
without
though.
being a bad person.
Yeah.
You could just lie your way out of like, oh yes, of course, yes, I am the president of Peru.
Yeah, well, and I always say, like, if he taught me anything, he kind of taught me that you'll be fine no matter what. Right? Like, in a weird, like, scary, like, don't take it the wrong way type
Yeah.
of lessons, but whatever you decide to do in life, you're fine. He's left 2 families and he's living in the Caribbean enjoying his life. I'm not saying it's good,
Nope.
but there's a lot of people who do the good thing and end up horrible. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's hard to...
The good. And he taught you that you can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Listen.
no
so
matter what, you'll be fine.
you always learn from your parents, whether directly or indirectly. There's always a lesson from your parents. They will be a parent whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
So you learn from your dad. All right, don't abandon your family.
Yeah, it's a pretty key,
Do you feel like, oh, I have his genes and mine, so I have to
No.
be careful? Because you don't have that at all.
No.
You're too honest sometimes. I'm like, dude,
Well,
you
because
just
I've,
keep
I've
it
grown, yeah, but I've grown up with the, like, lying is bad.
Right,
like-
okay.
My mom, how the amount of times
Your
that
mom
lying
is
is horrible, lying
amazing,
is
dude.
horrible, and I get it because she was lied. I'm assuming
yeah?
if my dad lied to me, he wasn't forthcoming with her.
Just lie to the kids.
He's like,
Yeah,
kids, but don't
yeah.
worry, honey. Like, So lying was always not a good thing in our family.
Wow. No, I wouldn't say my dad is a liar. I think my dad was he didn't grow up with a dad, so he didn't know how to be a dad.
Well, gang, gang.
More than anything, yeah. So I don't know how to be a dad neither, bro. But my mom is amazing. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
it's a pain in the
I
ass
know
as well.
very
but they're
well how to
parents.
not be a dad.
Yeah, maybe just your
I would just do the opposite
Opposite.
of that, right? Like, I was taught very well what not. It's like a big what not to do, and I'll just not do that.
You should write a book on how not to be a dad.
Yeah.
And just like, all right, guys, do everything.
Step 1,
with-
just leave.
just leave, lie. Wow.
Yeah.
So is it called a sociopath when you're a
I'm
pathological
assuming-
liar?
Yeah.
Dude, want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah, go for it.
So when I was a young boy, when I was in secondary school, I had a friend, best friend, and I don't know if you noticed, but like I love my friends. I value friendship a lot. So he was my kind of like closest friend, my best friend in high school, and we would hang out all the time. He was my best friend. I love him to death. And then one day he calls me. He's like, "Amir, I have terrible news." I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I have cancer."
Oh.
He's like, "Yeah, I just found out I have cancer. I have a few months to live." And I'm talking on the phone, and he's telling me this, and I'm just bawling my eyes out, dude. Just imagine, you just find out your
if
best
Dale
friend.
called me to say he had cancer,
Yeah.
I'd die.
Just bawling my eyes out. Terrible. I'm like, this is the end of the world. This is terrible. And then I think at the end he just tells me, "Oh, by the way, I was lying."
That guy.
That was just like to see,
Although, good best friend move.
Yeah.
Like, that's a best friend move.
dude. I was. It
It
It,
hurt.
it,
Yeah,
it,
no.
it hurt. It affected like how I trust people, who I consider a friend. It taught me like, oh, okay, I have to be careful who I call a friend
Well, no,
and who I
that's-
bring close to my life.
It's a strange
yeah.
thing to keep going for so long too. Like, I might have and to say you have cancer, I probably would have started with something smaller.
Yeah, I don't know. I have AIDS, whatever.
But no, but but even then, that's a weird.
And I broke up with him. Like
you're no longer best friends?
It took maybe 3 years, but it was just like, yeah. No, that's you don't want a guy like this.
No, that's a weird one.
I mean, listen. If I were to be, enlightened, I would say, listen, he was also 15, 16. People do crazy things when they're young. That
But
being
if it
said,
was a joke, then like if you said it was like, I'm just kidding, it was just
Yeah.
to be funny.
but like within a minute, don't wait till I
don't-
break.
Yeah.
I break
like-
down and tell my mom. I think he called me back and told me he was. He didn't have,
He probably started as a joke, and then when he saw you started crying, he didn't know how to pull out. He was like, "Oh my god, like I'm invested now."
I think he's a little bit of a psycho.
But
Now,
also he
as
might be a little
as I get older, but listen, again, he was young. Hopefully, his life is better now. But yeah, have you ever had to break up with a friend?
No, I don't have. I've never had a big group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a big circle. Like, I mean, Dale's been my best friend. I had like forever, and then
you guys have
before
a
that,
beautiful friendship, yeah.
I had one friend in elementary school, We just kind of grew apart in CJEP and stuff.
Yeah, that happens. That's normal.
But other than that, no. Like I got Dale, I got Andrew.
Andrew, I never met Andrew.
Andrew, he was my brother's best friend. Then my brother moved to Mexico, and now he's like my other best friend.
Is that your joke about licking the girlfriend? Is it him?
No. No, that's
Mine,
just a joke.
You
That's
licked
just a
Andrew.
funny
You
joke.
licked Andrew, and you're like, he's your best friend.
Yeah,
now?
that's pretty much what I did. Lick Andrew a few times, probably. I don't know.
Actually, you should try that joke with instead of girlfriend, instead of like with best friend, saying like, "Oh, I licked."
Yeah,
Just to
but
see.
I guess I like the groans. Like, the guys find it funny, but so basically, like the summary
Yeah.
of the joke is that when you're a kid, you steal a piece of food, you lick it, and you say it's mine. Like you do that with your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But then I say I kept that rule now that I'm older with my brother. It's just that now it's translated to girlfriends, which
So cute.
I think is funny.
It's cute.
It gets people to pull back sometimes, and I'm like, there's nothing harm. Like I'm not
Anybody who
being,
pulls back at
Yeah.
your jokes,
because none of them are
should
mean.
not be
Like
at a conversation.
sometimes I'll say words that you shouldn't, but other than that,
Like your style is so cute. You're very cute.
Stop it.
You are. You're a very cute comedian. You're like no one looks at you and goes like, "This guy has dark thoughts." People look at me and go like, "This guy." Up. I get it. I get it. A lot of people don't understand that
No, I see-
actions
yeah,
and ideas are not correlated. But you're cute.
no, I say everything with a huge smile on my face. Like I hope that I convey the message. All of this is a joke.
Yeah. Anybody who pulls back at your joke, honestly, like guys, you don't get
I had
comedy
a
at
guy in tears calling me homophobic once.
all. Oof.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, yeah, that's also what happens is that when someone is as cute as you on stage, you come out as harmless. So people, if anyone is looking to like meh and like do a hissy fit, you're the perfect
Oh yeah, no, I'm the guy that you would yell
because
at.
you're so cute.
Well, thank you.
I look like I could possibly murder someone's wife. So it's very hard, like rare that someone on stage goes like, "Hey, man," and I say, I mean, you've heard me say.
Oh, he said some stuff. He said some stuff.
Fucking just yesterday, I called someone on stage. I'm like, "Hey, I'm talking about my girlfriend." They're like, "Oh, Jesus!" I'm like, "All right, that was a bit too mean."
Well,
Oh yeah,
was he being?
he was being so. Please, Gabe, censor those bad words.
Yeah. Maybe in like the South Park's term. I don't know if you
He
ever
was,
saw that one
he was
episode.
being a hairdresser.
He was being a hairdresser. See, that's probably why the guy was crying when he called me homophobic.
But what
Stuff
joke
like
do
this.
you have that is?
And that's my whole thing that bothered me is that it's a joke that if anything I'm saying I get your point,
Okay.
right? But it's the joke that I say I've never done any gay stuff, but have taken a really big and that
Yeah.
felt great. So
Yeah.
if you picture it going in and out, it might be nice.
Yeah.
That's what set him off.
Oh, was
Big,
he gay?
like tears like streaming down the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
even
yeah.
gayer than gay.
Yeah. Well, and that's what
Yeah.
our gay comedian friend was like. He's being
I love
pretty
him.
gay right now. Maybe block that out. I don't know if Andrew wants to be included.
Yeah,
in
please
that, in
censor
that
the
bit.
name, Gabe. Please.
That was a very funny moment because I was like, yeah.
Like, did he like while you were on stage? He was like, "That's
No, it was after I got off.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
thought
okay,
he
at least,
came.
at least.
No, but like he went to the bathroom to cry.
Oh wow!"
And it was like leaving the bathroom or something like that. I honestly thought he was coming to compliment my set at first, right? Like, cause the first and to be, cause he just
It's
can't.
so
I was
cute.
talking to Andrew out of nowhere. He comes up to me, right, and he just
Yeah.
goes like, "Hey, do you have a lot of gay friends?" And then I was
Andrew
like,
was there?
yeah, and right next to me. So I'm like, no, like I didn't even have time to answer, but
Yeah.
he's like, well, because you should, because your material's very homophobic, and then. But like as he's crying, I was like, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, you got. I always, yeah, it's like, hey, I'm sorry, my jokes offended you.
Yeah, I said I was sorry, but like
Yeah.
also I'm not that much.
You should have asked me. You
Ha!
wanna suck my dick?
No, that would be rude.
You gonna suck it?
Also, I don't
Yeah.
think I would enjoy it.
Yeah, suck my dick. Going to yeah.
That's always I've had the theory that like men can't be assaulted by women. I mean, you can be, but like you have to enjoy it to some point.
Yeah, 100. The
Right?
story I told you earlier about the one night stand. The girl clearly saw a little boy that she wanted to, and she got me drunk.
Oh, okay. Well, there
That's
you go.
well, it wasn't assault, but I didn't mind. I came. It was nice.
You had your red shirt on.
With my
button down to here.
Yeah, it was sexy, bro. But clearly, like, yeah, I was taken advantage of, and by all means, I welcome it every time.
Yeah, but that's the difference. You welcome it every time.
Oh yeah, I tell my
So
girlfriend,
that's
sweetie,
not taking advantage of anything. That's just
if I'm sleeping and you just
what I would call that
don't
is a
even wake me
layup.
up, a layup.
It was just an easy like, oh, you want to sure.
There's no 100%, 100%. But what happened at the end? Like, how did the story end? Like, you apologize and
Oh, that was he said his piece, I guess, and then
Yeah.
he just left before I had time to say anything. Really.
okay, so he was not. I thought he was on stage and he was like,
No,
"Fuck
no,
you,
no, no.
man."
Although that did happen to me once,
What?
New Year's Eve, but it wasn't. It was a French guy who was mad at my French Canadian jokes, right? And then I started insulting him because he's doing
Yeah.
his annoying thing.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends was like, "He's gay." I'm like, "That has nothing to do with anything." Like, I'm like, so. Like they say, yeah, he said he's gay and he was kind of being a dick. So I was like, what? So he likes dick, gay. He liked dick so much he actually became one, or something like, or he liked dick so much he turned gay. I forget exactly what I said, but it was very funny. And then he stood up, and then I said, "Is that because your ass hurts?" And then he sat down, and then he sat down immediately, and then we were done.
Yeah,
I said, "You like dick so much you became
oh
one."
my God.
That was the line.
I love the
I'm
fact that
sorry.
you're standing up because you're asked that.
That I was proud of that one.
Dude.
I felt bad saying it.
The past week you pulled another with a black
fuck.
audience member. I'm like, oh my, those is what you should film.
I've been more daring with my words lately.
We're blessed is that the comedy club we work with loves us, so we can get away with a lot of crazy things.
Yeah, but as long as it's not like mean spirited.
No,
Right,
it's not.
and I think
No,
that's
none
the
of us,
thing.
yeah.
Right, like I never try to say.
Sometimes
it
you
insultingly.
get mean. I realize that about you. There's two. Like, I'll give you. I'll talk about me, and I'll
Yeah.
talk you. Me, people who are really drunk. I'm turned off. I don't even like talk to them as a person. Like, if a drunk person talks to me and I'm talking to someone, like, what is this? Like, I don't even acknowledge I'm a mean person towards
Yeah.
really drunk, belligerent.
Yeah,
like,
because
"Yeah,
like
yeah."
you know, if you can't be out, don't be out.
You know, I don't like these people. It's hecklers that look trashy. Like, trashy white people bother you and you treat them as below you the same way I treat drunk people as below me.
Well, because it's always them that are like that,
Yeah.
right? Like it sucks, but it really is always them that are like that.
I've seen you be mean to these people.
Because they're people.
I don't know if they're they look like life was rough on them. I try to always be like, all right, let's see.
I know you're not supposed to judge
Yeah.
a book by a cover, but if
you
you
do,
look like
yeah.
that and you're being audience,
Yeah.
I can only assume you're like that
All the time.
all the time. And no, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, I would say both of us, what we need is to be more patient. What we both need, I think it would be good for our comedy career, is to be more open-minded and more
Well,
patient.
maybe, but it's because those
'Cause
hecklers that I do
Yeah.
get, because I have some in mind that you were there for, but like,
I remember there was two women who
Yeah.
just came out of prison,
yeah.
and you're like, they
And-
said
but
something.
they were saying like they were being like mean hecklers, right? Like
I don't think they were
Yeah,
mean.
no, they were.
I-
Then they
I
started
was there.
calling my mom a whore and stuff like that.
They were trying to be funny, and you.
But in a mean way.
Yeah, but
and I
here's
was
the
like,
thing:
shut the
is
up.
your
Like,
mom a whore? She's not. So
no, but
I call my mom a whore all the time.
But-
She's not.
I don't want people like that to be talking about her, or just like
You-
it's just like, hey,
you put
like,
them back in their place in a non-funny way. You
Yeah.
put them back into place, and they're like, "Hey," like as a man. But as I think
Well,
on
no,
stage,
but also it had been because they had been doing that the full night. Like it wasn't just it happened to me.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
As your friend, I'm being honest. You could have handled it in a funnier way. You handled it as a man, and
Oh,
you
but,
can't.
like-
I can't
like,
blame
for
you on
real,
that.
I remember that night the anger was building before I even got on stage.
And I could tell by your face you were angry.
Well, because
You were
they were just
ang-
being fucking
'Cause it
annoying
wasn't funny.
the whole show.
Dude, I've told a guy I hope RPW you. Like but it's still funny.
That's funny.
Like I hope he sits on your face and you and
I,
rapes your
I
mom.
think I just told them to shut the up at some point. That's all it was.
Because
but-
you have such a cute, like your persona on stage is so cute and lovable. So when that comes out, everyone's like, "What?" And I remember it affected the rest
oh
of
yeah,
your.
no, it did definitely. But
So
like
we- yeah.
like if it had just been the one, because I really remember them. Had they not said a lot, like had they been okay the whole show, like I don't just do that for fun. Like to get me mad
I
takes a
know.
lot.
I know, but you shouldn't be mad at that. Trust me, man. Trust me. I'm telling you. It's just your style is so not like that. You could have handled it. You could have told them to shut the but
I
in
feel
a
like
funny
even
way.
now I would have done it better than I did
Oh,
back then.
maybe you're right. Maybe with time now you'd have
Right?
said
Like
something
lately,
funny.
I've been great at that
Oh
kind
my
of stuff.
God.
But because
So
I
funny.
remember I did learn from that. But people like that. I'm not saying trashy white people, but like just I would say trashy people bother
Yeah.
me. Right? Like that's what it is more. Like you're out, everyone's trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
And you're ruining the show.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, go the back to jail or wherever you live. Like like I have no pity for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to be I always like I assume everyone's good until you prove me wrong.
Will, they're not your dad. It's okay.
No, but I always say like I assume people are good until you prove me wrong. But
Yeah.
they've proved us wrong the whole fucking night.
But I'm just
So-
saying, because you can't let their behavior affect your performance, and it did.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So and it's like me and belligerent drunk people. Dude, there was a guy. I remember I did a show and there was a guy, and he was heckling the whole night. The producer spoke with him and told him to shut up. He was gonna get kicked out. He kept talking. I was gonna bring out the headliner, Gino. Gino was headlining, and
Gino's
Gino is doesn't do crowd work. Like, he's like, he's gonna
He's
destroy.
gonna tell you a story.
He's gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna piss your pants laughing. I'm on stage, and then the guy said something, and I'm like, oh, dude, and I told like, dude, I hope your mom dies. I hope your RPW you. I hope.
You went like Bill Burr in Philadelphia.
And I was killing. By the way,
Yeah.
the crowd was like, finally, someone is just.
Yeah, sometimes, but that's kind of the gamble. Is sometimes you need to do that.
But it was in a funny, like, dude. Saying
Yeah.
I hope RPW. By the way, to those listening, is a 400-pound, 500-pound black guy. So it's funny, and he was on the show. He's a comedian. Dude, I was killing so hard, insulting him that the producer said he came and he gave me the light. He's like, all right, that's.
That's a joke.
I got the light from putting a guy back, and then I'm like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you're headliner of the night. And then the crowd like I didn't want to bring him up to
No, that's good.
to that, but
No,
the guy
No, but
he
see, but
shut
like
the
that,
fuck up.
yeah. No, but sometimes, and that's what's weird is sometimes like the crowd is on your side,
Yeah.
right? And not to bring it back to those two again, but those two had
Yeah.
been making everything uneasy to begin with.
Yeah.
Like it was hard to. It was like the atmosphere was just weird that night.
And just so you know, sometimes people like listen. If she's been in prison for 10 years, she probably hasn't watched stand-up comedy. She thinks she's supposed to talk. So
Oh, maybe, but I
Yeah.
don't know. That
'Cause she was having
I don't
fun.
mind hecklers if you're funny.
she was having fun. Here's the thing.
She was having fun
Yeah.
being.
I don't remember that exactly. Again, you're way more sensitive towards that. Me, it's again told you drunk people after like my spot and they come like, hey, I'm like, dude, get the away from me. Ugh. Yeah, it's but it's as I said, it's not only you. I also have a thing like we both have to find a way for it not to affect our art form, so we don't look bad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
No,
So now, guys, if you're watching, we are in the South Shore.
this is where I work. Like
Is it where?
right there.
Is it where he works? And
Yeah.
you live not far from here, neither.
Yeah, like 5-10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Which Amber made me drive about an hour to his place
Hey, man.
to drive an hour
Yes.
next to my place.
Yes.
On the way to the place that's an hour away from my place.
Hey,
So
man.
I drove I'm gonna have driven 5 hours today, when I could have only driven 2.
Yes. I'm driving 4 hours either way. So, right? Right?
Because I'm a good friend.
Hey, man. you said you love driving.
Well,
so
because we were wondering how far this place was from my house. This much. This is exactly how far it is from
It's
my
an
house.
hour and
One f***ing hour.
All right. I'm sorry.
All right, no worries.
Listen, you love driving.
This place is super fun though, and I feel like we should go as comedians.
What is it?
Oasis Surf. They have a wave
okay.
inside, and it's a
Oh.
bar that you can drink
a
alcohol
bar?
at and then surf
You can get drunk and then
And
surf
surf.
on water?
on water.
Whoa.
Like and it's not like people have seen the waves online there that they just shoot water at like a curved
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
This is not that.
No?
This is like a swimming pool with like a dent in it that they run water over that makes a wave. And they can make it like 6 feet high or like lower or higher or whatever. But apparently it's like a legit wave.
Okay.
Like you're actually surfing. You're
and,
not.
and it's a bar.
Yeah.
So it's like the riding
It's like a
mechanical
surf and
riding
turf
bowl, but
bar
with
with actual surf
wow.
in the turf.
Wow. So people like on Saturday night they're like, hey, let's go.
I don't know how popular it is. Like I haven't been in many years, but it's super fun to go. Like
I
it's a
assume,
good
yeah.
time.
You go out a lot. I don't go out as much. I don't go out at all.
No, I used to a lot, and then I started doing comedy.
Yeah.
Like I only go out to do comedy.
Me
now.
too. My girlfriend's like, what hobbies do you have? I'm like, hobbies.
Comedy.
You're my.
Yeah, but that's it. Like,
When I have free time, I go see
someone
you.
asked me that. They're like, "So what hobbies do you have?" I'm like, comedy. Like
Is it-
all spare time I have is towards that,
Yeah.
and then I guess my racing video game. But that's
Yeah.
about it.
No, racing video game. That's a hobby.
Yeah, I don't even count it as a hobby. Like you
Yeah.
know, it's
You
just-
do it for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a hobby.
like for me, a hobby is like woodworking or some.
I don't know. I would say race, video games definitely is a hobby.
Yeah,
Do I have a hobby? Let me think.
masturbating.
I don't do that much.
Mm.
No, honestly, I don't. At my age, I prefer to keep all my for when I'm with my lady.
It's like I have 5 sperm left. I have to count them.
Yeah, exactly. This is true. I just sometimes I'm like really horny. He's like, "Why are you horny?" I'm like, I haven't come since the last time I saw you. He's like, you can. I'm like, nah.
No. C'est pas la même.
It's all yours, baby. It's all yours. Sometimes I jack off. It's interesting. I don't watch porn.
No.
I realized I took a decision. I don't know if I realized. I took a decision. Well, I realized that when I watch porn, it affects my creativity. So I try not to watch porn a day. Let's say I'm performing tomorrow. I won't watch porn
Yeah,
today.
but you perform almost
But I
every day.
perform almost every
Yeah.
day, so I just stopped watching porn. And when I was jacking off, I would just jack off to my imagination. By the way, so much quicker.
Yo, the imagination is better.
Ah,
You know?
within 2 minutes, I'm like, "Salam alaikum, good night."
'Cause then you don't get all the weird shots of porn where it's just the penis and you're like, I don't
I
want to
don't
see
care
that.
about
you know?
that.
You don't need that in your imagination.
No. Oh yes, I don't need that.
That's what I'm saying. You know?
That's-
It's not
yeah.
part of the thing. You never
Yeah,
have.
I don't need that. A big black cock.
Does it ever happen to you though? You're watching one and then it just cuts to dick and you're like,
I don't
just
mind the
too
dick.
much.
It's when it comes to a guy's asshole. I'm
But
like, oh,
stuff
come
like that,
on.
right? And then you're like, who's this for? Right? Because I can't imagine there's a woman at home going, yes, that's the shot. Like,
I always like when you ask a woman what type of porn they watch. They always have weird porn. I never
it's always
spoke
a little strange.
like when we watch porn.
It's like vanilla. The For You.
Exactly, but women are like, no. It's I'm gonna watch porn. I'm gonna get the
Yeah.
BDSM and the.
Planets have to align. Like it's a weird.
It's.
I mean, we're saying this, but
It's kinkiness is a very men. I have a theory. I don't know if it's true, but every kink you have, you don't have to tell me what they are. They came from like you did it with a woman who liked that, and then you liked the fact that she liked that, and then it became your kink.
well, I feel like there's I don't know if it's Tom Segura, but he had a joke that's pretty much what you're trying to say. He's like, guys are only ever as dirty as a girl lets them be. Right? Like guys we don't think about the limit. I
Yeah.
mean, there are some weird creepy guys who chain people up, like, they're nuts. But most
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm allowed to do or not do. So I just kind of go with what they enjoy.
And not just allowed or what you like. Like for some time, I did a girl who loved getting her toes sucked.
That's weird. I wouldn't suck a toe.
So I became like a toe sucking specialist. And then I'm like, oh, I guess that's my thing. I like sucking toes. And then, you date another girl and she's like, I mean, I like it, but it's not.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you just stop doing it. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, I haven't sucked a toe in years.
See, but I feel like even if a girl was like, suck my toes, I'd be like,
No, I never say to a woman's demands.
if she wants me to suck her
What's-
toe, I'm not sucking her toe.
Seriously?
No.
Oh my God, buddy, you just told my, tens of listeners that you're not a
Yeah,
good lover.
And if one of those tens wants me to suck their toes, I'm so sorry.
Buddy, you're missing out.
I'll get you one of those things.
You're
Oh, look at
missing
these guys
out.
are filming us. Look at it. What's up, man? Enjoy yourself.
I'm like, buddy,
Yeah.
dude, you're missing
He's
out.
like, wow, famous people.
No camera, no. Seriously, if a girl tells you like,
If
dude,
she wants me to suck her toe, I'm not sucking her toe. No,
Really?
No, there's not what and
Eating
I
her
don't
ass?
I don't not like feet
eating her ass.
if she asks nicely.
Really?
Yeah, I don't not like feet, right? It's not like I look at a foot and go, ew.
Me,
feet.
it's just I
But
have no pros or cons.
I've never been there's especially not when I'm
But it's not
thinking-
your pleasure. It's her. Listen, Habibi, let me be a friend to you. No. You gotta stop that. You gotta be a generous lover. Anytime a woman
I-
tells you like do this,
See, but I'm not
you're
gonna
like,
ask her to suck my
Yes,
toes either.
ma'am.
I feel like there's a mutual respect. I won't ask you to
who-
suck.
respect.
Like, don't suck mine. I won't
Respect
suck
is the
yours.
last thing I think about when I'm having sex with a woman.
Well,
I don't care about respect.
that's why I have more sex.
No, I don't know. I don't think so, buddy. But
No,
it's
he has
okay.
a girlfriend now, so congrats.
Yeah, no, I'm an amazing lover, buddy. Let me teach you something. Just respect. How do you? She's
I
sucking
respect
your
them, but
dick.
but I
Like,
feel like they need to
she's-
respect the
she's like,
fact that
"Ah."
I also don't like toes necessarily.
I think you're missing out on giving
toes?
on giving
I'll
women
do most things,
pleasure.
but I feel like toes are, you
There's-
need those for traction.
There's no there's no
I mean,
boundaries.
I'm gonna suck them, get them
If
all
a
pruny,
woman-
and then she just slips
No.
all over the place. Like
One time I said no to a woman, and I think I came inside her, and she's like, "Oh, can you eat me out?" I'm like, "Oh, no."
That's
the
no,
only time
no.
I'm like, no. Because you know why? It involved me.
Yeah.
But anything else, I'm like, no. Whatever a girl wants, dude. Because you have to be vulnerable.
I
to,
understand, but
she's
like-
being vulnerable with you. You have to be a
Yeah, but
kind,
I'm sure
loving
she
person.
has limits, right? Which I
course.
would then need to respect.
Yes.
So why wouldn't she respect my limit of I'm not with
I don't
feet?
think a man should have limits.
Well,
That's the difference between you and
I respect myself.
I think again, respect is overrated in the bedroom. Respect? Who the said that you should respect yourself in the bedroom? Dude,
What?
you're
This is
choking a
about toes
girl.
again.
You're her heart. You're coming on her.
yeah,
There's
and all
no
stuff that
respect.
she enjoys, and I would not do stuff
Exactly.
that she didn't enjoy.
That's
so,
there's no respect in that. You're
Yeah.
treating each other like
but,
whores.
but it's
What are you
it would
doing?
be irrespectful if I did that and she didn't like it.
What if she told you like, "Hey, I like getting my toes sucked," and you're like, "No." Ugh.
Like take a shower or some. You know,
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
gonna suck some dirty toes. Like,
Listen,
nah.
of course, yeah. If it's
At
yeah,
the beach
go
all day, she's like, "Ooh, suck
go.
these feet."
No, actually, the beach was nice because the sand. I think it.
Yeah, you get dusty in your mouth.
Nah, it's okay. You spit on it.
It's
better for your gingivitis.
Jam juice. Like I'm good.
But,
I'm
but
good.
buddy, listen. But what if that's what she likes? You won't do things that she likes,
I'm sure she likes other stuff.
buddy. Some women they have sensitive toes. I had a girl who she loved it when I sucked her toes. Well, I
Just
made
get
her
them-
come.
You know those things they advertise on Instagram.
Dude, I used to
that
suck
it's like
toes.
a blowjob
like-
machine. I'll
like-
just get that for toes. I'll put warm water in it or whatever. Like, just picture it is me.
I think it's very important to always please your lover, man. To be open-minded and please your lover. Always. Because what if I don't know, what if something you like, and she's like, ugh.
And then if she said no, I'd be like, all right, cool.
Really?
That'll be your toes for me. I won't touch your toes. You don't touch my whatever.
I think if you're in a
Yeah,
relationship, I'm not talking like a one-night stand. That's I'm like that to anyone. I don't have a. But
no, if I'm
but-
with someone for a
Yeah.
while, I might warm up to the toes at some
she-
point.
you-
But it wouldn't be.
actually, you
wouldn't
want
be like
you
my
want cold
first-
toes. You don't want warm, sweaty
warm toes. Like,
you don't want to
but
warm
why-
up the
like,
toes.
There's not. I've never had a moment in my life
Really?
where I've been presented with toes to suck.
Buddy, in the bedroom, I have no. I'm like, put whatever you want in my mouth. Don't shove anything up my ass, but anything else, do whatever you want.
What if she wants to put a toe in your ass?
No, can you? That
But
hurts.
she really likes putting toes in butts.
Then
Some
then
like
it won't
toes
work
in
out.
mouth, some like
Yeah.
toes. Perfect. It doesn't work with my mouth.
Because like I'm not a disgusted easily kind of guy. That's
Yeah.
not my thing. I'm like I don't go
What if it's
especially not in the
only your
bedroom.
pinky toe?
If I love her, she's my girlfriend. We'll talk about it. But I've had one finger up my ass. I had a girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, one of my ex-girlfriends. She was Jewish, and I'm like, hey, I want to try it. I was young. It was like maybe 20 years ago, and she was like, "You like this? You like this?" I'm like,
With
"I don't like this at
voice.
all." I'm like, let's not. She was Jewish. She was not. That's not. And I did not like it. I'm like, all right, I don't like things up my butt. You ever had a thing up your butt?
No,
Yeah.
no, that's my no zone.
I mean, I don't mind a kiss or a lick down there, but don't stick anything inside.
No, and I feel like that's how when people say like, oh, whatever, straight, gay, whatever, like it's a choice. It's definitely not, right? Because
Yeah.
like, I feel like there's not one, and maybe I would enjoy a tickle. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right. But there's not one part of me who wants to try.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like gay dudes are like,
I think no. I think you can enjoy getting ass and be straight. I don't think
and
so.
maybe.
I
but-
think being
and,
gay.
but for sure. But and much like everything's on a spectrum and whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah, but that's not gay. I don't think anything you do with a woman is straight. That's what I think. Honestly, she can put something and just shove it up your ass.
oh
it's
no,
straight.
but for
Gay,
sure.
in my opinion, is like looking at
And
you
I see- yeah,
and
I
going,
see what you're
"Oh
trying to say."
yes, that's gay." It's like you're
I'm not
attracted
s-
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
like,
sex.
Just because of that doesn't make you
Yeah.
gay, and I get that. But I'm just saying in the sense that, like, they clearly enjoy it,
Yeah,
and it's clearly something that they want to do.
some
And
of
there's
them.
not one part
Yeah.
of me who would even want to, but like even give a blowjob to a penis or
Yeah,
whatever,
none.
right? But that's that face right there, like there's right, like because and a gay guy looks at a dick and goes, "Wow."
That's
right?
how-
that and women look at dicks and go, "Wow."
I hope
right?
so.
There's
Never.
they look f***ing cheap, right? Like at least
I can look
least-
at a vagina and go, "I want to lick this."
but
I never
but
looked
feel
at a
like
penis
It's
and I'm
less
like,
aggressive than a dick pointing at
Oh,
your,
God.
like that's, and they probably smell. Like
Oh.
it's like
No. If
Fuck
I
that.
have no, you gotta get circumcised. I'm not sucking an uncircumcised.
no,
penis.
I would be a picky gay guy if I was.
Oh my
Like,
god. Oh, like I would cuddle with like George Michael. I don't know if I would have sex with him.
No.
I would
'cause
love to
dudes are
stare at
gross.
him.
And I feel like that's I guess my overarching point is as a man, guys are disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
so
they
to
are.
want to sleep with that,
Yeah.
like I look. Like
You have to be
women are,
attracted to
like,
disgusting
clean
men.
and like.
Also, listen,
I assume they're
vaginas.
clean.
Vaginas are. It's a hole in a body, bro.
I understand.
It's a hole in a body. Sometimes, like when I think about it, like that's crazy, and I
It is
want
weird
it,
that
and I
it's
want to
always
lick
just there,
it.
that
Dude, my
you
mouth
know?
waters like I'm eating a steak every time I say a vagina.
Why are women closer to God? Because they're holy.
Hey! Jump, let's kill ourselves.
Oh, we got a new pope. That was
Oh
fun.
yes, I saw this. He's
Yeah.
from Chicago. I heard.
Yeah.
Freaking Chicago. I love the fact we went from talking about girls' pussies to
Well,
the
it's 'cause
Pope.
They were holy.
Ah, oh,
Yeah, see, we made the transition.
Yeah.
We did it. Yeah, I don't really know. I know like
Are you
a lot
Catholic?
about history. No, I'm nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing. You.
I've never been baptized. I've
No?
never done.
You're gonna
any of
burn
the
in hell,
religious
man.
stuff. Oh yeah, my
You-
dad left. I'm a bastard child.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I've got
yeah.
all.
You're not.
the
You're not a
shit.
bastard.
No, bastard is.
When their parents are not married.
Yeah, yep. I'm a bastard.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, but wait,
Oh,
they
I'm
were
like-
together legally. So I don't know. Bastard. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because he married his next wife, so technically we are
Dang.
illegitimate
Wow.
heirs to the illegal throne of whatever empire my dad has built.
Pablo Escobar.
Of the French
Of the
islands.
French islands. Maybe you'll inherit something. Who knows?
Oh, dude, I'd be down.
How
Because
d- How did it end? Like all right,
How
thanks,
did
good
what
night.
end?
Like when you got in the plane and left.
I went back once.
Hey, yeah, you told me you went.
I
You
went,
saw
came
him.
Back, I didn't think that he was gonna do the same. Because when I saw him with his new family, I was like, oh, cool. Like you got a second shot, like
Yeah, good for you. You
Yeah.
learned your lesson. Mea
Don't-
culpa.
don't do it again,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then he did it again.
Wow.
So and what I didn't know is like the second time I went, he was already in the midst of leaving his then
Oh,
current wife,
wow.
but I didn't know. Like it just felt weird. And then when I left, I was like, all right, see you guys probably next year, because it was like I'd gone back almost like once a year after I met him again.
Really, once a year.
Well, once a year. It lasted 2 years.
Okay.
Like so. Hey, like let's not.
Wow. So now he went to another island.
No, he's still on the island. It's just my stepmom lives in the south of France now.
Oh, okay. She.
Yeah.
How did he get her to leave the island?
What's a tiny island, right? And it's super expensive to live there. Like it's
Oh.
ridiculously like I googled it for fun the other day. The cheapest hotel room I could find was $5,000 a night minimum. Wait,
Wow.
5,000 euros a night
Wow.
minimum of a 5-night stay.
Wow.
So you can't just go for fun.
Like you have to be ultra
like
rich.
yeah, it's like rich people go there kind of thing.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
What's the name of the island? Let's get a shout out.
Saint Bart's.
Saint Bart's.
It's cool, but like it's weird.
It does. It does.
As a broke person, it's very weird being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you see stuff on the menu that costs like your annual salary.
Like what did you see?
Like
that
I
you're
saw, I forget exactly how much it was, but there was caviar. Like we went to a
Yeah.
sushi restaurant at some point. There was caviar that was like, if I'm not mistaken, like 10,000 euros
Wow.
for just like a smidgen of whatever it was.
So your father must be very rich to afford to live there.
I again, scammy.
Yeah,
is
but
a
still,
better term.
you still need to scam a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he is hardworking,
Just-
but in the scammy world.
yeah.
God damn. St. Bart's. Let's do shows there. I don't want to go do shows in Mexico.
Dude,
Rekindle with
the
your
shows-
dad.
The shows that we could do in St. Bart's would kind of be awesome.
$100 tickets, make some money.
$100.
$1,000 ticket?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, dude, it's like there was a group like the Avner. It's like some DJ group or whatever that happened to be there at the same time that we were, and my family's like, oh, let's go watch them. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know who they are. Tables were something like 3,000 or 4,000 euros.
Whoa.
But they only had tables, and then you had to buy out like bottles of alcohol. Like, it wasn't just you can come in and sit down. Like,
Does it look like paradise?
it does, which is kind of weird because like there's laws on that island. Like, you can't. There's no resorts,
Yeah.
right? So there's no big ass hotels. There's no big
Smart.
nothing. Houses are like 2 stories max, right? So it looks still like a deserted island.
Wow.
Right, but then you see the houses and you're like, this is like, they film movies in houses like this.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
you know, the staircase spirals, but there's nothing holding it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
Man, that is the life. I would like to retire there.
Yeah,
It would
good
be a nice
luck.
place to retire, and you're like, I'm done with life. Let's go enjoy the sun, tan. Never button up the upper 3 buttons.
No, like I'll try to find it after my dad's house. I found it at some point. The rent was 25,000 euros a month.
What the hell? So your dad was able to afford that?
Yeah,
25,000. He was renting
yeah.
and paying 25.
And I don't know. No, he wasn't. And that's one of the reasons that my stepmom had to leave the island. It turns out he was not paying the rent anymore for the past like year.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. So he kind of, and then it was like, oh, my stepmom to pay. Like, he kind of did the same thing to my mom. This is what I mean by like scammy stuff, you know? Like, he'll promise a lot and then do nothing.
But he's still on
And
the
he's
island.
somehow fine. Yeah. Like, at the end of everything, he likes, you know.
He must be very smart. He must be a high level.
Oh, for sure.
sociopath.
And that's the thing. Like, you meet him and you're like, there's like, you're a nice guy, but there's something weird. And he's not a nice guy, obviously, because.
And there's a strip club in St. Bart's.
No,
That's
that was in St. Martin.
St. Martin.
Right, to get to St. Bart's, you have to go through St. Martin.
Okay, which is another island, I
Yeah.
assume. Okay.
Yeah, if ever you've seen planes land, like huge planes land right above a beach, that's St. Martin.
I think I saw a video like
Right,
this.
like,
Yeah.
So that's St. Martin. And then you can take a little ferry or a tiny plane to St. Bart's.
Oh, okay. And St. Martin is bigger than St.
Yeah,
Bart's.
St. Bart's is I think 7 kilometers by 3.
That's so small.
Oh, it's tiny. It's tiny. You could do the tour of the island in like a day. Like it's very, very small, but also very cool. Like we climbed to the top of, it's a volcano kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like we hiked to the top of the volcano once. Like it's very fun.
Dude, the people must be so rich on that island.
Oh, incredibly. And like billionaires, like
Yeah.
not just 100 million, like they're like wealthy.
And they probably
like-
just go to that island once a month, maybe once a year, spend a month
yeah,
there.
there's some people who they just have houses that are empty until they get there.
Yeah, and they just have staff to keep it clean and stuff.
Like
Man,
Bill Gates has a house there.
Wow.
Some really rich Russian guy, Abramovich, Roman Abramovich,
Yeah.
Abramovich, I forget. But this dude pretty much owns the entire side of like a mountain
Whoa.
until the bottom where the beach is. And technically it's his beach and like his whole house is there kind of thing. But he lets people use his beach. Like it's private property, but it's okay kind of thing.
So imagine how much he must have paid like few $100 million
Oh, yeah.
of land.
Yeah.
Just so you can like, I want to have all this land.
100%. What's his name? The reason the island is so famous and because of the way it is the Rockefellers found it.
Oh.
So, and I visited, there's an abandoned Rockefeller house
Yeah.
on the island, and I went in it, which is kind of weird because it on the wall it said like David and Peggy live here or something.
Wow.
Right, David Rockefeller and whatever his wife. I think it was Peggy. I forget, but it was David and his wife. but it was just deserted, right? Like overgrown, like it was.
Oh man, it's like in
weird.
the movies.
Oh yeah. I'll show you videos if you want after. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, send them. We'll include them in the.
Yeah. I have drone shots of it. Like I brought my drone.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it was, so apparently he was sailing his boat and he just saw like the cliffside and he was like, I want a house there. So, and he bought his house there, and then all of his rich friends bought houses there, and then for generations it's just been rich people and rich people and rich people.
The ultra mega rich.
Oh yeah. Well, Rockefeller.
And
Again,
you're-
like he's like the
and your dad.
yeah, and my dad.
Who? Where? Why? And what does he do there? Does he have a job? Does he have a restaurant? A hotel?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. Like he told me he had a company that it was a dragage company. So like after a hurricane, like sand
Okay.
leaves and whatever, so they have to like kind of comb the beaches back. So there was that. I know that when I was in France, like he sold cars somehow.
Okay.
Like I know that we had a
How many
like
cars?
we always had different cars, like a Jaguar, a this, a that, and whatever, but never for a long time. I don't know what he did, to be
Because
honest.
now he must be in his like 60s or so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in like a 30-day fiance type relationship now.
What do you mean?
Like his girlfriend is roughly my age from like the Ukraine or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
She hot?
Eh.
Come on. She must be hot.
No. To be honest, not my style. And maybe it's because I find, she broke up my dad's new family and whatever, and maybe I got some anger built in behind that.
Is it because she likes her toes sucked?
Maybe.
And you're like, ah.
Yeah, she told me one day, she was like,
She took a look at toes.
yeah, we almost made one of those Pornhub videos. Where I was like, stepmom, no. And then she said toes, and I was like, stepmom, no.
God damn, still 43 minutes to get to the
Oh,
show.
I just got a text. It's Mother's Day dinner
Aw.
on Sunday.
Yeah, you cannot.
Cool.
Dude, you cannot miss Mother's
No, I can't
Day's
miss
dinner.
Mother's
No,
Day.
no.
That's one of the things. Like,
Yeah. It's
No. I do Father's Day as Mother's Day also.
yeah.
That's like a.
Yeah, your mom is a saint, dude. For those who never met Will's
No,
mom,
she's a nice lady.
she's amazing. She's everyone's mom. I always every time you're like, she's my mom. She's everyone's mom. She makes everyone feels nice and
But
loved.
I feel like, because I feel like me, my brother, and my sister, like we're not perfect, but we could have turned out way worse
Yeah.
than what
Oh
we did.
man, imagine.
Fucking changing countries, dad disappearing, all kinds of. Like if my mom was not a nice lady, like we'd be.
And yet again, she made
And
it
now
happen.
I'm a
man.
little defective, but in a good way that makes me funny.
You hate white trash because they remind you of your dad. That's
Exactly.
okay.
Maybe that deep down, I'm like,
100%.
Dad, you
100%.
old lady making
There-
fun of me.
There's no that. We all have like those issues, but it's okay. Would you want to have kids?
Yeah, I do, but like I'd want to be able to.
You gotta suck
afford
toes,
it.
man. You
No,
gotta suck toes.
No, I feel like there's other ways.
This
of
is how
making
babies
kids.
are made. You
No.
suck toes. If a girl's like, if your wife's like,
I think
suck
you
my
were taught
toes
how
as you
to
come
make
inside
kids
of me. You gotta suck her
toe
toes.
section was not in my biology.
If you want to keep the woman, you gotta every desire she has. You gotta
Hey,
fulfill it to the best of your
I thought
knowledge.
I saw a rainbow for a second. No.
It's still raining, isn't the rainbow
No, yeah,
after
but
the
it's
rain?
just an effect that the window gave as I turned my
Oh.
head.
It's a rainbow in the car because you're gay.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a gay.
Yes,
fine
you
if
are. Yes, you are. Come
No.
on, Will. You're gay.
No,
Bro, you're gay. Just say it.
no.
That's why you like taking big. You're gay.
I do enjoy taking big shits, and no one can tell me. That's why that joke, like,
I have the same joke, by the way.
but logically, right? It does make sense.
Yeah.
Like, big feel great.
Yeah. Do you
So-
when you
so
shit?
logically-
When you shit, do you a long, nice?
It depends.
Hollywood
if I drank
shit?
a lot before, not at
Okay.
all. But
But sometimes you have a
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
I
nice,
never
like
have
a-
those.
You know, it
Ne-
depends. It depends on what I ate.
Really, I never have those. I've been shitting for 41 years. The last time I had
Straight
like
diarrhea the whole time.
it's not a diarrhea, but it's not that. It's a pile. It's a pile. Again, sorry for the ladies listening.
I've had piles before. I know what you're talking about.
It's not
and
like
you say sorry for the ladies. Every hot chick in the world
Yes.
has piles before.
Yeah.
You know? If you think they
I know, but they
I'm
don't want
just
to
saying.
listen. They don't want. The only people who slide in my DMs are the women who listen to the podcast. They're the
well,
only
and
people
they
who
still
slide.
pile.
And Yeah, but they don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying, but
Some of them are playing
I
with
feel like
themselves
it almost
watching this
makes-
episode.
and
Who
that's
knows?
fine, but
Two hot guys driving a stick
That's
shift car.
impressive if you are doing that.
Send Will. I have a girlfriend. Send Will a DM. Tell him how much you enjoyed this beautiful laugh.
Yeah, no.
Send him a photo of your pile of.
I'm just saying that they do exist. You know,
I know, but they don't like
the
about it.
Queen of England took massive at some point.
Massive.
She put ooh right after, but like
Ooh.
she's still.
Oh Lord!
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like the Pope.
Oh,
He just died, but you know the Pope every now and then was like, Jesus Christ, as he took it. That felt great. Maybe I'm
feels
gay.
amazing.
I don't think the Pope, but he might have. Is my point.
Pretty sure there's a prayer. They pray all the time. Like I knew a guy who used to pray before jacking off. He was Muslim. I'm like, that's a bit odd.
He'd pray before.
After,
Okay.
like as a sorry.
For like the fallen.
Sorry, not
children,
jacking
or
off. Not.
like-
I don't know if it was jacking off. Jacking off, he thought it was a sin, but like before he had sex, he would
I don't know
pray.
if Gabe can clip that. There's probably a moment where I panicked because I looked away as you slammed on the brakes, and I turned my head quick and I'm like,
Dios mío,
to just have that.
Papa. Fun times.
Are we almost? We're 39 minutes away.
Yeah. All right, let's end this. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
No, I'm good.
All right,
What's
guys.
up, Dad? Shout out.
Shout out
You're a
to
good podcast member today.
Papa. Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you comment, write us comments. Let us know what you liked,
Yeah,
what
how
you guys
big was
hated.
your most recent? Feel good.
And follow Will Del Vecchio. When I'll make the post on Instagram, I'll tag him. And thank you so much, guys, for listening. We love you very much. I love you, Gene. I love you, Gabe. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.